Hello YouTube, welcome back. Here we are for another video. This new game that I've just started kind of playing around with. Actually, I've been playing around with it for quite some time. NIMRODS Guncraft Survivor. Now I was starting to edit a whole video that I'd kind of laid out, done a whole bunch of footage, and was going to teach you a whole bunch of stuff. But I realized as I was making that video that I'd rather be playing the game. So I'm going to do something that I don't do very often, and I am going to record this live straight all the way through. So if you hear some hiccups, some mistakes, not actual hiccups, but if you hear some mistakes, some coughing, grunting, ringing of the phone, whatever, the sirens going by, helicopters, I don't care. It's all going to be in there because I want to play the game while I show this to you. This is a survivors based game, a lot like Vampire Survivors. We're all pretty much familiar with that. There's the big difference is that you're building a gun. You're making a gun that you're upgrading as you go along. I'm just going to pop right in here. When you first start out, you don't have a lot of this stuff. You have your cell, you have your drone, but I don't think your drone even can do anything quite yet. I think your first run, if you haven't done your first run, just go ahead, pop in here, do a run and come back. I'll wait. All right, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. If you never left, well, then, hey, great that you stayed. All right, so these guns are the ones that I've made on previous runs. So as you go through the runs, you're going to get upgrades, level ups, essentially, and your level up is going to add all sorts of different items to your guns. So all these upgrades, now I don't have any right here, but these are some of the ones we could be buying right now. Yeah, let's just buy one right now. As you buy them, they'll be added to the possible level ups that you can get as you're going along. And you will have the opportunity to buy them once you are doing your run. After you're done, when you die or when you finish the run, your completed gun comes back with you. Then you can take your completed gun and you can give it to your drone. So what you're usually going to want to do is, so we'll take this one. Now remember, when you first start out, this door is going to be locked, but this will show us the damage that we can do with this. Not bad, 12,000, which your regular gun when you first start out, I think does like 100 or something dilly like that. You can save up to 2 guns if you decide that you want to keep them for later. Now we'll take a look. This is the gun that I currently am using with my drone, and you get your drone on your second run. So once you have a gun to give him, yeah, that's a lot better. Now the thing with the drone is that its gun doesn't upgrade. Its gun upgrades along with you. So this has all the attachments right away, but the drone itself is going to kind of level up the same way that you leveled up in your previous run. So if you didn't get, say, a rate of fire increase until the 3rd level up, when you get your 3rd level up, he will get whatever 3rd level up you got during your run that time. And so he gets more and more powerful as you go along too. So the way that we kind of do meta progression here is through our drone. Our drone gets more and more powerful as we make better and better guns. You do eventually get the opportunity to open a lot of these areas. I'm not going to show you the one up there because it's really not that important. I already showed you Tank over here. He gives you all of your different parts that you're going to be able to get as you go through. There are 2 characters. You do unlock Vixen. You find her and you're able to free her or something like that. Not going to give too many spoilers on that. And Grim is your guy that you normally use. Grim has 2 separate powers that he can use. You start out with one of those 2 powers. Let me show you. You start out with Rush, but eventually you can unlock Frenzy. This says mutation is max, so I guess I can't get any more mutations. But you can customize this with all these different things that you can get. We have, I think these are regen ones. Yeah, these are regen. And then we have health ones, which are health ups. And we have this dexterity one. You don't start out with any of these. In fact, you don't even start out with this area unlocked at all. But once you do get them, once they're available for purchase from our nurse over here, you can buy them. Each time you upgrade this, you get an extra one of these inside of here that you can put in one of these slots. So you can see we got quite a few of them already. We only have slots available for 2 more round ones and a whole bunch more slots for the square ones. So we'll be able to get to that in a second. There is also, this is not available right now at all. This is going to be coming in a future upgrade, I guess. But this is where we would upgrade those mutations. So every time you upgrade them, they get more powerful. Every single one of them gets more powerful. So that's the basics of it. You also do unlock the ability to change how the drone moves and reacts. You can buy things for follow. It says follow towards the nearest XP. Okay, so that's an XP follow. I don't care about that. Crosshairs follows the crosshairs. So I don't want any of those. I did buy a few of these to start out with, and then you can come over here and you can change. So right now I've got them to follow me. You start out with, obviously, default. Just follow Nimrod, follow crosshairs, large circle. default. I'm going to put follow Nimrod. And then targeting to the nearest drone, to the weakest enemy, or default. I'm going to have it to be nearest to the drone because that's how I want to do it. All right. As far as like top 10 things, you know, if you do a top 10 thing video with well, I wish I knew this when I first started. I wish I knew how to do this when I first started. This game is really not much to like feel bad about. Can't make a lot of mistakes. There aren't really that many bad purchases to make. You really just go in and play the game. And let me tell you, this is one of those that feels really slow when you start, but when you get a little further on, you'll see it actually picks up pretty quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to deploy just at the regular zone because I want to show you what we get. These are all the gun upgrades that you can get as you're going along. We have the pistol. It's okay. Shotgun is decent. Assault rifle is your standard. I think that's the one that most people are going to want to go with. It's really I think that's the gold standard. Submachine gun, nah, it's all right. AK is terrible for some reason. I don't know why. The RPG is pretty good with the missiles. And the Tesleon carbine is awesome when you get it going. I have some footage of that I could show. I might pop it in later in the video just to show you some of the wild guns that we end up with. But you start out with the pistol. You have to buy the rest of these as you go along. I recommend right away getting the assault rifle and going with the assault rifle. Let's play just so I can show you the basics of the game because it is really cool. All right, so obviously you just kind of run around and shoot. You might not be as fast as this when you start out because we have some gene upgrades. Go around and pick up your XPs. And as you pick them up, you see we got our upgrade over here. We got our level up. All right, so let me show you what we have here. We have bullet damage, pretty obvious. Rate of fire, obviously we know what that is. Crit chance is your chance to get a critical hit. The percentage bonus is percentage bonus of damage that you will get when you do get a critical hit. You can max this out to 100 and a little bit beyond because you do have certain attachments that are going to reduce your crit chance down so that you can get a better stat somewhere else. So once you get to 100, don't think you're completely done with it. But once you are at 100, it is a guaranteed critical hit, which means this crit bonus will apply to all of your shots. Super, super powerful. Bullet count is also pretty powerful, but it's hard to get it to move up quickly. If you do see an attachment that's going to move this, say, from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, essentially you're adding an extra bullet every time the gun fires. So if you start with 1 and you get up to 2, you're doubling your damage. Penetrations is how many times it will pass through an enemy and continue on to the next enemy. Now, as bullets fly, they lose damage the further they get away. There is an attachment that you can get that will make it so that they always keep the consistent damage. It's pretty good to have. So keep that in mind that penetrations are good, but only if you don't have your damage get reduced the further away that you get. Penetrations could be a little eh. Magazine size, obviously, the more bullets you have, the less time that you have to reload. Reload speed, time it takes to reload. Reload times on these guns is pretty significant. So once you do get your rate of fire up to where you want it, you should work on your reload speed to make sure that you can reload in time. Bullet spread is how far off of where you're aiming the bullet is going to end up. The smaller the spread, the better off you're going to be. Bullet range is how far they will travel, obviously. Bullet speed is how fast they travel across the screen. Bullet size is the size of the hitbox of the bullet. It does actually make a difference. Knockback power, I haven't really even seen this be much of a factor. I don't see anybody getting really knocked back. All right, this affects the damage of most sources of non-bullet damage. So if you have anything that's a non-bullet damage, think about like electrical strikes or a secondary weapon or fire or your special ability. These are the things that you're going to want to look at for special power. I mess with this every once in a while, but it's not my major thing. Max health. Health regeneration is pretty darn slow. You won't have any to begin with until you get some upgrades for your genomes. Armor, obviously what that is. Move speed. Vision range is how far you can see away from you, and then collection range. So these are the different areas that you want. What is the best stuff out of this? Crit chance and crit bonus. If you can get this up quick, this is huge. This is like your big damage. I wouldn't even focus too much on bullet damage. There are many other ways to get your bullet to do more damage. I'd rather have more bullets. I'd rather have faster rate of fire. I'd rather have faster reload than I would have just straight bullet damage. But sometimes the straight bullet damage can be helpful. Now remember, if you have a gun that's not doing bullets, that's not shooting bullets, then this bullet damage does not apply. All right, let's take a look. Bullet damage, reload speed, that's pretty good. Grenade launcher is you hold down your right mouse button, and that will shoot a grenade. It will go towards your target. So if you put your target further out, the grenade will go further towards it. And last but not least, we have cryo magazine. Chilled is great, especially because the next upgrade from there is frozen. This is a lifesaver. This is going to make your run. I recommend getting cryo magazine anytime that you can find it. In fact, I'll grab it first. All right. And as I said, you're going to want to stick in this easy area to begin with. Don't go off the beaten path, just kind of head straight down. There are different areas that you can complete missions. So there are parts that you'll see a blue circle that you got to hang out in until the blue circle says time is up, and that will complete a mission for you, which will give you different types of upgrades. All right, so penetrations and resource drop rate. Resources are your health drops and your different genome upgrades that you need, the little pieces that you need to do that. I guess I don't know what those are called, materials. And also your coins that you'll get, your credits. All right, this is the enlarger. It's okay. Bullet speed, move speed. I'm gonna go with this. Believe it or not, move speed does get important with some bosses. There are bosses that you need to run away from as you're getting set up. Rate of fire. Deep freeze, perfect. All right. Shooting the final bullet in your magazine. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna get deep freeze. This is actually a good start to a run because now we're gonna be able to freeze some guys up. If we can find anything that helps with our special ability that keeps what's that one? Duration of we'll see it in a second. Effect duration. That's what it's called. That's why we don't do these live. I should not have picked that health up. It's pretty generous as far as healing goes in this game, so don't worry too much about losing life early on. You can always make it back up. All right, XP gain, bullet damage, bullet speed. I'm actually going to take this for XP gain. XP gain makes a difference in this game. You do not max out on XP, so gaining experience faster is really good. You know, like in Vampire Survivors, like gaining experience once you're good at the game really doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of times because you'll eventually just not be able to get any more upgrades. And so gaining experience, isn't super great. But in this game, you can just keep getting more and more upgrades. So experience gain is key. Bullet size. We'll take crit bonus and knockback. We got to start looking for crit chance too. Crit chance will be important. All right, what I might do is once we get a couple of upgrades, I might just switch over and add in the final scenes of a few runs so that you can see what you finally do end up with. All right, so jet stock, you can get, you notice these special abilities are rather important here. Heart charm, normal enemies survive for 5 seconds will drop 40% of their XP immediately. And then they will also drop some if killed. This is Ducky Charm. This helps your partner as well. So your drone, I will take that. And of course, like all survivors, the enemies get tougher and there gets to be more of them. If you end up in one of the more advanced areas, you'll also fight different enemies even early on. So like I said, in your first few runs, you're going to want to stick around here and go and get your missions done. There's tons of missions to do in this area, so just keep wandering around until you found everything. The missions do not generate every single time. Once you've done them once, they are no longer there. Reload speed, bullet count. Ooh, no. And 8% bullet count, health regeneration. All right, we'll go with reload speed and healing bonus. All right. So let's head a little further down. Let me see if I can find one of the towers so I can show you what the towers do. I know there's one over here somewhere. Basically, there's, you know, different types of installations that you can get to. One of which, like I said, is a tower, which will shoot different types of bullets at you and make you run for your life. But if you can kill them, you do get a very awesome bonus. You get a full magnet, which means you will magnet up a whole bunch of XPs. All right, let me go back up here and get this. How hard is the game to play? Not bad once you get used to it. All right, reload, bullet speed, move speed, weighted stock. All All right, this sacrifices move speed. I don't like it. Every 60 seconds, we'll give you bayonet charge. I don't like bayonet charge, but I do like this, so we'll go with this. Reload speed. There's a couple, and I want to try and see if I can get the few that I like, because there's a couple of upgrades that really, really stand out. One is the helix, which makes your bullets shoot in like a wavy helix shape. And the other one is a bullet, not exploder, but one that makes the bullets turn into smaller bullets after they hit something. So basically it spreads out a whole bunch of bullets. Ripper clips, it's magazine size, XP gain, bullet size. I'll take the bullet size. It's not great. Usually one bullet size up is enough. If you have any of the special guns where the bullet is a giant Tesla ball or something like that, the bullet size is very critical. RPG is another one where bullet size can help. Oh, okay, see that pink ball? This is where the towers are, right here. See that tower? If we kill him, we will get a magnet. So when you get a chance, if you are ready enough, I just hit the space button, which gave me my special ability, which is my frenzy. Frenzy's going to give me all sorts of extra speed. I think it's extra damage too, speed and damage boost on my main character. Oh, and here's a boss, Split Serpent. Bosses in this game, none of these bosses are very hard in the beginning. Even the final boss is not that difficult in the beginning. So don't panic about bosses. Bosses ain't she. All right. Wow, we're really getting kind of shafted on our upgrades. Although no, we did get freeze early on. I can't complain. Freeze is pretty good. As you can see, this snake doesn't do much. Most of the bosses don't do much. They have like one little special thing that they do, and everything else is pretty typical. You know, they just kind of sit there as a bullet sponge. But I will say they're not just bullet sponges. They don't just throw like more and more health on their bosses. They do give them things. So, oh boy, took a little damage there. Not happy. As you can see, they do add in some significantly harder enemies as you're going around, but not like super harder. Okay, so we killed the boss. Just got to watch out because he drops a whole bunch of baby snakes. So no baby snakes for me, thank you. The bosses drop relatively large upgrades. So, all right. Hell Splitter. Shooting the final bullet. No, okay. So we're going to go with Mallet Charm. That's going to give a whole bunch of stuff to me and my drone, helping my drone level up faster. Now you notice my drone's gun is going to get really good in a few upgrades. It's going to go super crazy. This one, well, 100% bullet count would give us 2 bullets, maybe. I don't know. Crit chance. Yeah, we're going to go with that. We need a higher crit chance. Crit chance is like, you can guarantee you can get 100% crit every single run. If you survive long enough, obviously. If you don't survive long enough, then no, you won't. Notice my health was down quite a bit, and I've managed to get it back up just by breaking a lot of these fun guys over here. All right. Pretty easy to keep yourself clean in this game. You don't have to worry too much about it. Oh, it's over there. The level ups do run away from you. They do go pretty far. You have to kind of chase them down, but that's okay. Reload speed, bullet size. All right, reload speed and healing bonus, fine. Yeah, see now he's shooting grenades, my little friend over there. So one thing that your drone will do is that the secondary upgrades that you get, the ones that shoot special powers, it's gonna wait until that, you see up in that left-hand corner, that pink circle that's filling in, or purple circle. It will not shoot any of its special powers until the whole thing is charged. So that is a bit of a pain, but eh. All right, we took a little damage playing with that, but that's okay. We'll come down here and get some health. You see how easy it is to find health ups. Plus you see how good that freeze is, right? More health ups there. Okay, Hell Splitter, Gyroscopic Harness. If you see those times 0.55, that's like a permanent downgrade. I think that permanently downgrades. I don't think it just cuts it in half this time. I think it does it forever. All right, energy blaster. Yeah, sure, we'll grab energy blaster. So now I have a secondary power that shoots my energy blaster that has to recharge after it runs out. So now I'm going to let it recharge. If I had to grade the secondary underbarrel equipment, I would definitely go with, I think the grenades are the best as far as I can tell. What's this? Status effect duration. We definitely want status effect duration because that's going to up our freeze. That's going to make our freeze last a lot longer, which is great. Now for me, I don't have any really spectacular reason to wander around too much, so I just want to kind of stay in the open. But you will want to kind of explore, find new places. The map is very large. There are lots of different areas to explore. Once you'll tell when you've gotten to an area that's new. The color will change, the enemies will change, things will get drastically harder. So I recommend like staying in this place, the Grove, essentially, because that will keep you from getting completely razzmatazz as you're going around. All right. Now notice my drone is starting to get really nuts because his upgrades are starting to kick in, and he has a gun that is spectacular compared to mine. All right, crit chance. Yeah, crit chance. Because once your crit chance gets up, then you can have your crit power or whatever it is. All right. It's okay to run through, guys, if you have to, because they do that typical Vampire Survivors where they throw this almost invincible wave at you that you got to split through. A lot of times you can sneak through it. Oh, here's Bertha. A lot of times you can sneak through it and not get hit, or you can shoot through it. But in the beginning, many times you're just going to have to tough it out. All right, so Bertha does the three laser shots there. So you just got to get into the sweet spot where there's no lasers. Now notice your drone is going to help you out a lot in these situations. So you can either focus on the boss, or you can focus on mobs and let your drone take down the boss. Me, I kind of do a little combination of both because it does get a little hairy at times with the things around you. All right, that was pretty easy. That was easy. And all right, crit bonus, rate of fire. All right, what's our critical at? 52. Rate of fire, vision range, airdrop capacity is huge because that will give you extras that you can use. All right, yeah, let's go with this, the glory and victory. We want the extra crit bonus because we will be getting 100% crit value at some point. 100% crit chance, I should say. Which can quite literally give you 5 times damage for every bullet, which is how we end up getting these crazy stats on our guns. As you saw, it was like 20,000, 25,000. All right. Taking damage from an enemy will release an electrical blast. Not so great about that. Ammo rack, no. Hell splitter. I'm waiting for my friend. The damage magazine size. I'm waiting for my friend Helix. All right, this one's okay because this gives us a little extra. Yep, that was a bad idea. I do like the fact that the magnets are gated behind those towers. It's kind of fun. All right, so that's, yeah, crit up for sure. It makes it so that you just don't automatically get collection magnets. You actually have to earn them. I think it's cool. Shocking charges. That might be good. Yeah, we'll go with that. So now see, my buddy there has the Helix now. So he is going to be doing a lot more damage than me. Plus his bullets spread out in a way that guarantees he's going to wipe the screen clean. All right, I'm gonna save my shock bullets there. This isn't bad though, because we're kind of cooking through this. Grab a little health up here. Oh, another one. Yay. There are certain areas that are gated that you have to go a long way around, and then you can open up a shortcut, which is another cool thing that they've added. I mean, this game has just added a lot of fun stuff. It's put a lot of things in that you don't see in other games, and when you look at it, you go, oh, that's actually really cool. I hate to take bullet damage. 50% special power. My special power is not that great. Penetrations, bullet count, health regen. We'll go with this. Even though our penetration rate isn't going to be that great because we don't do a lot of damage at distance, close up it will help. I think resource nodes do respawn when you go back after a while. I'm not sure, but there are so many of them around that you can just kind of wander like this for quite some time until you find more. Yeah, see, like we got that little. And already we're back up to full health. Pretty easy. Now you will die early on in your first runs. It's just how it is until you get some of the genomes. As far as I know, there's no difference between the two characters. So if you do end up playing the other character, I don't think there's any advantage except for they have different powers. So like as far as like statistical advantages, I mean, there's no reason to pick one or the other unless you like the power that a certain one has better than the power of the other one. All right. Again, you run into the typical situation here where you've got to double back to get things that you miss. So like if you do not collect all your XPs, you're in trouble. Oh, I might be in trouble. I might not have a powerful enough gun. Oh, those little snakes are bad. All right, rate of fire. Hopefully, I did see that there was a health up over here somewhere. Okay, we got a boss coming. This is a boss in disguise. All right, that was bad. We're gonna die. Yeah, we're dead. That's okay though. At least that'll give us a chance to kind of cap out of this, and then I can show you footage from another run. All right, Big Carl chases you down. He does a lot of running after you. Kestrel Charm, Shatter Magazine. The final shot in every magazine gains the following: penetration 3, bullet size. Gain the cutting element. Oh, I don't know that one. Frozen enemy. Okay, yeah, we'll take that. Hey, we might actually kind of survive. I wanted that health up, but I didn't have enough space to get to it. Yeah, this gets a little hectic. All right, Big Carl is fast. Yeah, that freeze is not enough to get us out of situations here. I thought it would be, but at this point it's not. The only reason we're hanging on is our drone has an insane gun. Like, I'm literally running for my life here because I've got to find some health ups or give myself enough time to regen a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Oh, almost made it through. Oh, I hate those little snakes. Hate them. Hate them with a passion. All right, we killed Big Carl. Hooray. Woo. All right, let me take a breather here. Woo. Right back. Okay, we back. Let's see what we got here. Blood and Thunder. Underbarrel recharge rate. That might actually work. Crit chance. No, that's definitely what we want. Crit chance. Oof. Tough time here. Every rate of fire you have will reduce your bullet spread by that. Containment field is pretty awful. Stay away from it unless you've got a specific build that you're working for. Firing tip. Okay, that's no. All right, ergonomic grip. Looks like that's the best. Now remember, I took a little extra crit chance there. That's in case we run into a situation where we get a crit down item, where our crit chance goes down. At least we won't lose any crit because we'll have done it. I just want. There's a special gun that I'm looking for, a special attachment I'm looking for, the Helix. Or if I can't get Helix, I want Bullet Splitter, one that splits the bullets. Crit bonus, dodge skill, ooh, collection range. I don't know if I want my dodge skill down with my health being messed up. Normally I would take it, but my health is screwed. So, all right, let's see if we can find some health ups. I don't know if I really want to take on this tower right now with low health. We'll come back when we're a little bit stronger. See, if we had the Helix, we would be freezing a lot more guys, but because we don't have the Helix, we don't have a good spread on our gun. So hopefully we'll get it soon. Crit bonus, yep. Knockback power, again, like I said, I've put on a ton of knockback power and it doesn't seem to do anything. I mean, it probably does, but it's not noticeable. All right, that should give us another level or two. It's weird. Sometimes I hear things hitting me and I'm not even sure why I'm getting hit. There it is, Helix barrel. That should help. Bullet damage, bullet size, rate of fire. No. Okay. Energy charge damage. Yeah, we'll grab that. Now you can see we basically just have a full bore machine gun. Still have to be careful though, because we are still getting ripped basically. All right, status effect duration, yes, because we have freeze. We want everybody to freeze for long periods of time. All right, that will be underbarrel and ability recharge, damage, bullet count. Bullet count. That'll put us up over the bullet count. Let's do it. That's going to give us 2 bullets now. 2 bullets for every shot instead of 1 bullet for every shot. All right, special power, bullet count, bullet size, bullet damage. Yeah, we'll grab that little extra bullet count. Maybe we can get up to 3. I know we just took bullet count, probably not the best thing. Gang gang! This guy's actually pretty tough as far as the bosses in this game go, because he does have a range and his little buddies have a range too, and you gotta watch out for the eyeball guys at the same time. So we probably will end up dying to this. It's because we're so low health. And the bosses do loop, so if you run away far enough, they will loop back on you. So expect to see them in front of your face if you move too far away from them. All right, I'm trying to get my way out. Look at all these freezes. Hey, oof. Tough. Excessively exhaustive jet. Or scoped sight. Bullet damage will no longer be reduced when hitting distant targets. That's what we want. Ah, we're dead. I keep saying we're dead and we keep avoiding death miraculously, but I got a feeling that's not going to last much longer. Unless we can find some healing. If we find some healing, we might survive. Oh boy, tower. I just took damage, so I think we're done. I think we're done. That's all right, though. Ah, got us. Anyway, you get the idea. So I have actually done 4 or 5 successful runs. The bosses change depending on which area you are in. So if you do manage to get to the other areas, the way that I recommend, if you want to get to one of the higher level areas, I recommend sticking around in the normal areas first, getting your level ups to the point where your gun is insane, sticking close to that new area you want to go to, and then going to that area. The further you can get into that area, the more likely you are to find the drop zone in that area. And if you get the drop zone, then you will no longer have to fight your way through that area. I do not recommend initially drop zoning into those areas unless you have a specific reason. Anyway, that's basically it. That's how we do here. So anyway, this gun is definitely not powerful enough, so we're gonna sell it. But as you can see, now we have a bunch more credits and we got a bunch more of our items that we could upgrade with. Not enough yet. These are, they're not tough to come by, but to get 360 does take a little while. All right, let me show you what a couple of these other guns look like when we actually get to use them. So this run, I ended up with a decent gun that had the Helix on it. I believe it also had Freeze on it, and this allowed us to take down the tree boss, the first of the craziest of the massivest of the nastiest bosses. Actually, this is just the final boss on here. Not that tough, believe it or not. The biggest thing with the this tree boss is that he moves relatively fast, so you kind of got to keep away from him, like we had with that charger that came after us. But as you can see, this is moving around quite quickly right now, and we are freezing a lot of guys. There's also a freeze cloud that comes with it. The Helix is really popping off, as you can see, and also if you look at our if you look at our drone is absolutely sick. Our drone has so much firepower on it, and the bullets that it has are a little bit bigger. You can see right now that I have all of my health, and that nothing is even getting on the screen. We have an upgrade that allows the bullets to track to the different enemies. That one comes off of the Helix line. So you get Helix Helix bullet, then you get the second of the Helix upgrades, which I think throws some critical damage on it or something like that. And then the last one of the Helix upgrade line makes them home in on the enemies. So at this point, it's more about just getting enough stuff to get to the boss. We really don't even have to worry about, you get to an end, you'll be able to tell. You're at a point where you can keep the screen relatively clear. Enemies aren't even getting close to you at this point. So when you look around and you see that your bullets are killing things before they even get onto the screen, you know you made it. And at that point, you should just take a look at whatever upgrades you think will give you the best advantage with the boss. So at this point, we're doing well enough with the little guys. Anything that we get is boss music at this point. So let's just keep going around. I'll show you all the stuff that we end up getting here. Induction coil, that's bullet speed. I think we should probably just take the crit damage, crit bonus. Because at this point, with crit of 100%, all crit bonus is just extra damage. It's percentage-based damage. Now, one of the things that you will notice is that if you do have a ton of crit bonus, when you do put bullet damage up, it can be a super increase. So let's say that you manage to get a damage up for your bullet. It says like 1.5 bullet damage. If you have a 500% crit bonus, that means that you're going to get that times 5. So you're going to end up with closer to what, like 8 extra bullet damage on each bullet. Malfor, all right, this is the dude. The dude just come after you. He doesn't really, actually, he shoots these little fluttery things. I forgot about that. As far as bosses go, he is the most difficult in the easy area. He is not the most difficult boss, obviously, in the game. There are some bosses that are actually relatively tough. This guy, even though he's the most difficult of the bosses in this area, he is definitely not hard compared to other bosses. Like, if you compare the bosses in this game to the bosses in, say, I don't know, any game, Isaac, Gungeon, Vampire Survivors, not really. Vampire Survivors is more just like they give you the waves at the end and then death comes along and kills you. I would say that probably this is, it's relatively easy. Like, you don't have to worry too much about him. This is one, like I said, you do have to have your movement speed up a tad so that you're not completely getting throttled by him, because he will chase you. And he will get up on top of you if you stay too close to him. So make sure you keep your distance. Make sure that you leave some healing stuff lying around. I always try to leave a whole bunch of healing drops sitting waiting for me, and then I'll just kind of wander over to them. And as I said, if you just stick to this normal area, you'll be able to get through this relatively easy, relatively quick. I don't know why I'm leaving this upgrade here. I should probably grab that, because upgrades will help us to get through this a little quicker. So bullet size might not be a bad idea at this point. The bullet damage actually is pretty good for this point too. The freeze would also be good, but yeah, we'll go with the bullet damage, because now the bullet damage is going to have a huge effect, because it's also times whatever our crit rate is. So if you have 400 crit rate, it's times 4. If you have 500 crit rate, then it's times 5. So you're not just getting a little bit of extra, you're getting a lot of extra at that point. Yeah, we'll take more crit damage, I think, unless there's anything serious in here. You'll notice as you get towards the end, the choices that you have start to thin out a little bit, because you've run out of all the specialty ones that you can get. You'll even have some times where all you'll have is one choice, which is a little sad. All right, so we managed to kill him off. Let's take a look at one other gun really quick, because I want to show you that there are different guns that you can use. Yeah, Barrett. All right, there are different guns that you can use that can get you to victory. I'm going to show you the Tesla. Okay, this next gun is the Tesleon Carbine. Now you notice it has a big giant blue lightning bolt ball that will be shooting out, and a whole bunch of little ones that break off of it. That's that bullet splitter. And I also do have helix on this, and I have a ton of, bullet speed, so it'll move. Now we're fighting Titanus. You'll see that we're in that kind of brownish area that was above the green area that we fought in. So this is a little harder of an area. So each area that you get in, you're going to end up with a different ending boss. So Titanus is pretty chumpy. He's not easy to manage by any means. So I would say that this is the kind of boss that you actually do have to kind of pay attention for. You can't do much different than that. All right, we only have one upgrade, which is the freeze cloud. But you can see at this point, even the Tesleon Carbine has just an insane amount of bullets and damage that it can do. Now this gun I did not end up putting onto my onto my drone, because in the beginning it's very weak. It's not weak if you, the player, have it, because you can very easily direct where your shots are going and let your drone do some of the work for you. But if you give this to your drone isn't going to be worth anything for a long time, until the very end, when the bullet splits start coming and the higher damage starts coming. Now, the electricity bullets also have an extra effect. They have the shock effect on them as well. So that can play into it, but I would just be very careful about handing off one of these finished Tesleon carbines to your, to your buddy there, your drone. So make sure that if you get this, that you're going to want to get as many bullets as you can, as many split bullets as you can, bullet speed. That's kind of the stuff you want to get for this. And eventually you will, you'll get your crit up and all that other stuff as well. But to begin with, you just want these bullets to move faster. You want them to move, if you can, in that helix pattern, and you want them to split when they hit. So those are the major things. Oh, and to move fast, because these bullets are super slow. So get your bullet speed and all that up. Your rate of fire as well is going to be important, and your reload speed is going to be important. Your bullet damage, I would say, is not as significant on this, but you eventually, yeah, you do want to put your crit up and all that other stuff like you normally would. But in the beginning, this is a lot harder to work your way through. But as you can see, when you first play this game, if you've already just played this game once or twice, you're going to notice that this is a lot more fun than running around shooting tiny bullets one at a time, or like a few bullets here. Or even sometimes you get up to the point where you get that nice machine gun sound, almost like the A10 Warthog. If you don't know what that is, look up. I think it's A10 autocannon is what it's called, and the sound of it is just absolutely ridiculous. You'll also notice that in this area, if you've played towards the end of the green area where you've gotten to the last boss, you'll notice that the enemies at the end of this are very different than what we have normally. It did seem to kind of clear out a little bit, and looks like Titanus is going to go down. We're kind of shooting at nothing here. I don't know why. There we go. All right. So there's our defeat there. So you can see that the most important things that you gotta work on is, yeah, you're gonna have to do a bunch of different runs in this to get your meta stuff up. Once you get some of your genomes up and you're able to put those in so that you have your extra health, you have your extra regen and your extra dexterity, it's going to help you tremendously in the beginning of the game, and it's also going to help you towards the end of the game. But the biggest thing is to get, like, look at this, you see the damage that these guns do towards the end, is getting a decent enough damage gun for your little buddy here. Once your little buddy has good damage, at the end, you're going to be able to survive a lot better. He covers you basically to make sure that you're not, yeah, well, that's actually got a lot of good damage on it. We're going to save those. We're going to end up selling one of these because you can only keep two. And when you sell them, they don't really sell for that much. But that's it from me. So I just wanted to show you this game. This game is awesome. Go ahead and pick it up. Get out there. It's, I think it's like $8, maybe $9 on Steam. I really think, and this is still in development, there's only 2 characters right now that they've made. They're going to make another 4 to 6 characters by the end of it. They're probably going to add a few more things. You see there's one desk there that they haven't added in yet. This is under development, but even still, as a game under development, this is still way better than most Survivor games that you're going to run into. Highly recommend it. It's going to feel a little slow to begin with. Stick with it. The rewards are there. There are a lot of fun stuff that you could do, a lot of cool builds, way more stuff in here than in some of the other ones that are in early access. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us and taking a look at NIMROD Guncraft Survivors, or NIMRODS Guncraft Survivors. Don't forget to like and subscribe and put your comments down in the comment area. And hey, YouTube, don't forget, you're up.